Hello, this is TJR. I haven't had a chance to talk too much about either animation or comic books lately, so I think I'll kill two birds with one stone and talk about Season 2 of Harley Quinn. But first, if you like what I'm doing, be sure to click like, click subscribe, and smash the bell notification icon so you can know when I release new videos. Oh, and by the way, this video will contain some spoilers for Season 2 of Harley Quinn. When I saw the Season 1 pilot for Harley Quinn, I have to admit to being turned off. It just seemed like another crude humor animated comedy show only with DC characters. But great reviews for the series continued to come in, making me want to reconsider. And there were lots of them. Reviews from YouTube sources that I respected all gave it extremely positive reviews. In fact, it's become the first big hit from the DC Universe streaming service. So I reconsidered, and I watched the rest of the first season. Admittedly, the show did get better, and I enjoyed it, but I have to admit that I had already seen this kind of meta superhero comedy commentary already. It was entertaining, but nothing that I felt I could get that excited about. In fact, the most intriguing aspect of Season 1 was where it ended, with Gotham City in ruins and Batman missing. Suddenly, we were in a very unsure place with this show. But I still wasn't excited for Season 2 because I figured that the show's runners would find some way to bring everything back to status quo by the end of Season 2's opening episode. And I have to admit, I was happy to be proven wrong. In Season 2, Gotham City is in ruins and is annexed from the United States. There is no Batman, at least not for a while, and Gotham is in chaos. And yes, I know that this story arc is based on the No Man's Land story arc that ran in the various Batman comics during 1999. I have only ever read a few issues from that particular story arc, so I can't comment on them. But this comedic take on the material is working for me in spades. Somehow the show's brand of comedy just works so much better when set against an apocalyptic world ready to fall into the abyss. Now only halfway through Season 2. I have to say that looking back, it feels like Season 1 was just a setup for Season 2. Season 2 is crazier, wilder, and more subversive than I could have really imagined that this show could be capable of. But most of all, in Season 2, the show really gets fun. Poison Ivy, Harley's BF, advises her that now is the time to take charge. But Harley isn't interested in taking charge. She wants to revel in anarchy, or girls just want to have fun. And Harley does have fun. That is until Gotham's surviving supervillains start taking control. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. In Season 2, we get a way cool version of Batgirl. Yes, I know she's based on the current comic book version. Once again, haven't read that. We get a very kick-ass take on Catwoman. Of course, I can't say as I have ever really seen a bad version of Catwoman in any media. But most of all is the hysterical, small-screen return of the Condiment King. You heard me, the Condiment King. And that's not all. Back in the 90s, Batman the Animated Series writer Paul Dini took Mr. Freeze, a joke of a Batman villain, and transformed him into a tragic character in the series episode Heart of Ice. It was a revelation. But in 2020, that revelation has become a cliche, so the writers of episode 4, entitled Thawing Hearts, twist that trope and create some of the show's most subversive moments. There is so much outlandish violence in this series, and yet watching Victor Freeze feed his frozen wife was one of the most disturbing things that I have watched in a while. Or, as series regular Dr. Psycho put it, this is turning into some serious Silence of the Lambs. And then just when I think I have it all figured out, that trope gets twisted right back into Freeze being a tragic character again. And I love how the show did it in just a matter of seconds. This same episode also hilariously savaged and ripped a new one into some of the more toxic elements of its own fan base. and I could feel the horns growing out of my head as I watched, laughing. Now, you may be wondering how Warner Animation managed to get Season 2 produced during a global pandemic. Well, I believe it's because they were making Season 1 and Season 2 at the same time. I would guess that by the time Season 1 was airing, that Season 2 was close to being done, and post-production on a show like this can be done in a very solitary and distancing way. Which is kind of interesting when you consider the fact that the show is being made back when life was still considered normal. Now we are in the middle of a global pandemic, with America leading the way in death toll, and I have just heard that murder wasps have made their way to America. It's funny how when everything in the world is getting crazier by the minute, we get a cartoon show that reflects it in a funhouse mirror. Right now, Harley Quinn Season 1 and Season 2 are only available on the DC Universe streaming service, but to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if, after HBO Max launches, that those 2 seasons might find their way there eventually. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me to see DC Universe eventually absorbed into HBO Max and made part of that service's overall content at some point in the near future. But that's a video for another day. This is TJR, and those are my thoughts on the first half of Season 2 of Harley Quinn. Now please tell everybody what you think and leave a comment. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Take care. I hope you all stay safe and healthy. Bye-bye.